like to thank each and every one of you for being here with us today. We are very pleased to be able to welcome those who have been associated with us for such a long time, especially our postgraduate students, for being with us and registering in a large capacity of more than 800 participants. We welcome you all. It is a pleasure for me to welcome the participants all over India. Your presence is highly appreciable by all of us. I welcome all the participants who have shown a great enthusiasm for registering in the webinar. Our chief guest of the event, Professor Dr. A.K. Das Mahapatra, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir, Odisha State Open University, doesn't require an introduction, for he is a very well recognized figure in the field of academics. He is known for his wonderful administration and high achievements of the higher education institutions wherever he has served. As a philanthropist, he has rendered selfless service to the society and has molded the life of students and helped them to excel in their life. We are indeed privileged because of the presence of Sir and have his constant support and guidance at Odisha State Open University to get our things done successfully and efficiently. I would like to mention that Sir is an accomplished writer with several published well-known pieces of books, patents, and much more. Its words are not enough to describe his academic excellence and achievement. His dreams and his success have motivated all of us to dream big and achieve them. So now let me have the privilege to introduce the esteemed speaker of the event, Dr. Tanushree Purohit Madam, who has 19 years of rich experience in corporate sector and academics. She has done MBA, MPhil, and PhD in the area of marketing and retail management. Madam is a prophylactic researcher and has presented papers in various national and international conferences in India and abroad. She has published books, articles, research papers, and corporate case studies in national and international journals. Madam's training expertise includes training and coaching of senior managers, executives, and students. She has also trained rural artisans to uplift their marketing skills. She is a highly motivated trainer with expertise in training small and large groups. Her proven success in leveraging educational theories and methodologies to design and deliver successful training program is indeed a great achievement. Madam, we are grateful and privileged to have you in this function. So now let me take the privilege of inviting Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir, to please address the gathering. Sir, please.
Good morning, and thank you, Prasansa. It is indeed a pleasure on my part to be in this formal inaugural part of this webinar. At the outset, let me welcome you all, the very dear speaker of today's webinar, Dr. Tanushree Purohit. The large audience, especially the faculty members of our own Odisha State Open University, and from any other universities, other institutions, as well as the student participants. As I'm told, basically the PG students have been given the option and the opportunity to participate in this program. My staff members, and in fact, I have personally forwarded the a flyer to many corporate offices, including the highest authority for us, the Governor House also, expecting that everyone knows the importance of this particular topic today. And I know that we met Tanushree last week, the same day, Saturday, and the topic was different. That was primarily meant for the students, but today it is for a bit of senior level, including the faculty, staff, and the postgraduate students. We have assured the society that will come up with a series of thought-provoking seminars, webinars that will give a platform for the learners to appreciate the importance of the topic, the kind of knowledge that is being shared in this platform, which may not be easily available in the textbook. Because here what happens in the form of a webinar or seminar, or that for that purpose, in case of workshop and similar activities, we have a conglomeration of people who really interact and discuss on a very topical topic. But in the form of webinar today, we have basically one speaker who will be actually putting her ideas and thought. And I'm sure the response that we got in the last week, especially when Tanusri was the speaker, was close to 1,000 and beyond, and it must have reached a couple of thousand by now. And today I expect a similar response is going to come. Well, the topic is very, very relevant, just not contemporary. It is an evergreen topic, the creative thinking and adaptive innovation for success. Look, unless we innovate, we are not going to have a place nowhere, and especially in the society will never love to have us, because we have to definitely prove, make a point as to why we exist, what is our purpose, and what at the end of the day we are contributing to this society. I always insist upon this particular point, saying that our very purpose must have a meaning to the society. Our existence must have importance to the society, and the place where we live in and our surrounding must be benefited out of our work, our conduct, our behavior, our contribution. And for that, we have to have something different in ourselves that everyone will start following, appreciating, and of course, end of the day, will feel good that we have been able to leave a legacy. We are able to contribute something for the development of the society. And of course, when I say society, of course, it goes beyond that, because when society develops, obviously the state, the district, the state, and of course the country and the whole globe also gets developed. When today we say there are certain countries who, by different parameters, they are really rich in terms of not monetary resources, but also in terms of intellectual capital. And this has been possible by virtue of their creative thinking, and they have certainly, gone out of the box to think and to come up with a solution to an existing problem, or even to visualize a better lifestyle, and for which they have come up with innovative ideas in terms of product, in terms of process. And therefore, I think today's topic, where Tanusri is going to, being an expert in the field, is going to give us about the various dimensions which will lead us to having a creative thinking and how to go for innovation. You know that if you go by certain other parameters, like the number of patents which have been registered in other countries, especially in US, and the number of patents which are being registered in India, there is a hell of a difference. If you compare with US, the number of patents which is registered in India is about 1% of what is being done in US. So there are ample scope for us. No doubt that we have advanced in certain areas, but certainly there are many more areas which we need to still improve, and that only way to do so is have to be creative. And therefore, I once again invite all the learners, especially the participants in today's event, and I'm sure their presence just not only encourages us, but I'm sure their presence itself is encouraging themselves to understand the new line of thinking, the new thought process. So I once again not only welcome you all, but welcome the speaker also. I also convey my sincere thanks to all those who have made this possible. And now I leave it to Prasansa to take it forward. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your profound words of wisdom. And especially, sir, as you said, that the dimensions of creative thinking for the development of the society, state, and country. So we will be taking, definitely, sir, the participants will be benefited by the thought process and by the discussions and the deliberations of the webinar. And we will stand up to your expectations. Thank you so much, sir. Who says that creative thinking is only limited to the artists, painters, designers, or writers? It's not like that. Only those people have the right to create. Even creative skills give an edge to the professionals in each and every field, right from science, arts, commerce, and each and every discipline, not even in professional academics, but also in personal life. It drives our innovation and progress in almost every field. The eureka moment of cracking an idea can be experienced by anyone and everyone. So it is clear that exceptionally creative people are found in STEM fields, mean the field that you're working in, the field that you are growing, the field that you love to work, be your everything. May it be science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and arts as well. So let me welcome our esteemed speaker of the event, Dr. Tanushri Purohit Madam, who will be discussing the idea of creative thinking and will help us how we will think creatively and how we can plan for innovations to make successful in our life. Friends, actually it is raining heavily there in Delhi, so her internet connection is little unstable. So right now she is disconnected. She will be connecting in an hour. Before that, I would just like to brief you about our university, Odisha State Open University, as basically we have faculty and master degree program students here. So admissions are going on. So you may please visit our websites, and we have series of webinar that will be there throughout from now onwards every month. We are planning for having a webinar each week. Basically, it will be on Saturday, but it may be in any other day also. So I would request you all to please visit our website, notifications and innovation, new information related to webinar. So Madam is with us. Now I would like to welcome Madam. Madam, please come on the platform and share your deliberations and discussions that will add value to us and our participants. Welcome, Madam.
Thank you so much, Ms. Prashansa, Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, dear faculty members, and my dear students. Thank you for the wonderful opportunity to interact with you all and this initiative of Odisha State Open University. And after last week's interactive session on goal setting, I'm really looking forward for today's session on creative thinking. And to say a few words, like this pandemic has really taught us how, the best laid plans have, go haywire. So we should all empower ourselves with skill sets to face these disruptions, I believe, whether we are working in academics, whether we are working in industry or any sector. So, it's a great initiative of Odisha State University under leadership of Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, who is also my guide, mentor, and inspiration, to provide a platform for interaction and enhancement of skills to its faculty members and students. Thank you and best wishes all. Looking forward for the session and future collaborations. Thank you so much. So I'm really sorry for the disruption which happened with the internet connection. So I think, should we start, sir?
Yeah, Tanushree, you start your talk. Okay. And maybe for some time I'll be off, but then I'll be here around.
Yes, sir.
So best wishes.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. I'll just share the screen. So is it visible?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible, ma'am. You can make it, yeah, it's full screen now.
Full screen? That's great.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
let's, have a very interactive, keep your questions ready. At the end, I would look forward for your, viewpoints and any queries if you have. So creative thinking, we all of us within ourselves have, we are equipped with so many skills, and sometimes we are not able to identify those that, yes, are they all really within us? Or if they are within us, are we really using it to the full potential? How are we putting it into use? Are we very laid back, to put something forward, or think, okay, let's, whatever is happening, let it happen? That attitude actually stops us from going. That attitude stops us from moving ahead in life. So today, just to share few thoughts and idea, which it's a learning process for you. It's a learning process. This interaction is a learning interaction for me also. So you will be learning few new things. I'll be also, through your questions and your thoughts, I will be also learning some new things. So let's start this journey. So I would say, in the words of famous psychologist and celebrated author, creativity is a great motivator, because it makes people, interested in what they are doing, within what we are actually doing. Are we doing every day something different, something to, provoke our thoughts, something, we are we breaking free from all those thoughts which we, always implement? So that is one area which is, we need to look at. And when we put something to use and something new things to implement, it gives us some hope, it gives us a way forward, what is, how to move forward. It gives a possibility of feeling of, say, achievement. Yes, we have done something, and we go back to sleep at night with that happy feeling. Okay, so it makes life more fun, more interesting, and something to look forward to. And if we implement this every day, every day of it, we look forward to go to our workplace, because we would like to, start something, new, some new way of doing things. So it is, it involves creativity, breaking out the established patterns, what we have been following, what we have been doing from, years together. So creativity is nothing, just it's just taking a different way, just taking, breaking the patterns to come out with some good results, and, tread in a path which, we might have not tread before, right? And look things at a different way. If it is like, if we are not doing some, we are doing, we ask ourselves a question, that what will happen if I do it the other way? So let's go a little deep and try to, just quickly, we will see that, what thinking skills we have within ourselves. So one of them is the divergent thinking. Believe me, all these skills are within ourselves. Some may be, at a higher, at some person, some people might have aesthetic thinking more within them. Some will have, systemized thinking within them, but some part of it is there in our, within ourselves, and it is up to us that how much we put this into use. So divergent thinking is, exploring multiple perspectives with flexibility, fluency, originality, or finding a new solution to the problem. When we talk of, lateral thinking, it would be absolutely out of the box. You do something, you solve some small problem in your, organization in absolutely different way, which has, not been done before. Aesthetic is more related to, we all know, more beautiful visuals, and it could come out in the form of graphs, data representation in your workspace. Systems thinking is you are thinking more holistically. Suppose you want to automate your examination system in your university. How would you do that? A complete 360-degree perspective, right from submission of the question paper to the declaration of the result, maybe how it can be automated. Inspiration is those light bulb moments. We hear somebody, we hear great speakers speak, and then we are really charged up and think on those lines to come out and think for new solution. Abstract thinking is in terms of objects, principles, more say scientifically, and how you can do new combinations to come out something. And design thinking, the most happening way, the concept which has changed in today's date is the design thinking, which we'll be doing in little detail, and and see how we can apply it within our daily life to come out with really good solutions. Okay? And how much in each these thinking patterns we use within ourselves is up to us, right? So when we say, creativity is, one of the most in demand skills in the world in today's date. Okay, so, a survey conducted by IBM found out that the most important leadership skill in this century and the coming years would be the creative thinking and critical thinking within the leaders. And every one of us has a leadership aspiration to be a leader. We all want to grow in our career. We all want to, see how we can, make ourselves better than what we were. So, you have to add that creativity. I'm sure all of you have seen movies of Spider-Man and Avengers, and so think of those movies. If there was no visuals, no creativity in those movies, would they appeal to us? That appealing storyboard, the colorful visuals, that attractive things happening, they really attract spectacular things. So it really attracts us to this. So life is nothing but, we need to add that glamour portion to our life also, and that can happen only with unconventional ideas, new thinking skills, new ways of powerful creative concepts. So you have to really be open-minded with unbiased assumptions, and when you have those thinking skills, you have to have that capability, develop that capability to communicate those skills to the person sitting other side, to tell, to take your ideas to the other person is also very important. So it's important, you develop that skill, and believe me, it is, nothing, no rocket science that it will not happen with, any one of us, or it can happen with somebody with, absolutely great communication skill. It's not, it's not like that. You have to develop that skill. You have to put that skill into progress. Application of anything is very, very important. So when we talk of creativity, it is, within the boundaries of any profession. We cannot say creativity is just for artists, just for painters, designers, writers. It gives an edge to all professionals. It gives an edge to everybody. It can run infinitely, it into any positive directions you want to take. Okay, so we cannot say that, within our profession, what creativity can we do? There is n number of ways. We just need to sit and think that, we have to Ms. Prashansha, I think somebody is, drawing something and disturbing the PPT, I believe. Can you just check, please?
Yeah.
So it is, it is run, as I said, creative thoughts can run infinitely. There is no boundaries.
Over the text, I request for the yes.
So I believe that, you have to see that whether your positive thoughts can have applicability, what difference it makes to, whatever you are doing. Okay, so you have to find that way yourself. You have to rack your brains and really explore. And first and most important thing is that you have to, have that openness, unbiasedness mindset to accept that yes, you can be creative, yes, you are capable of doing that. That belief in yourself is very, very important. That, feeling that yes, you will be achieved to somebody something, you can make difference to, the environment you are working into. So that is very, very important for you to understand, accept, and implement. So when we talk of creative skills, it really drives innovation and progress in every field. It's simply within our, academic system. If I'm a faculty, and, see how quickly when the pandemics, struck us, how quickly we adapted all toward this online mode of teaching. It was something which happened overnight, and we accepted that fact, and we implemented that. And when we we quickly went from one way of teaching to another way of teaching, and we started thinking in a very divergent and creative way, that how we can make this experience much better for the students. Because this disruption, because this problem, we were all together in it, be it students, be it faculty members, be it administrative people, be it the higher education ministry. Everybody are together in this, this journey of disruption. So it was, many people of us started thinking that how we can make this experience a wonderful experience for the students. And you started developing, way of doing things. You started developing, how you can put your presentations better, in a better way, how you can use case study method, how you can use simulation method in the online form to teach to the students. So it is once you implement this, that you feel a feeling of achievements. It can it is how you have taken this whole experience in a positive direction with your imagination, which has added colors, to the whole experience. And it is that eureka moment. The eureka moment, what eureka moment is, that feeling of achievement. Yes, you have done it, experienced by anyone and everybody. And so it's just not you, the people at the receiving end also could feel that yes, this is one faculty member who has done something different, who has really put up an effort to make us understand in a different way. So when we talk of creativity, you need to feel that, visualize that feeling of achievement. That is, what is the how you would feel if your new idea is implemented. That achievement is very, very important. That feeling of achievement is very, very important. That visualization, that how you would move forward, how you have gained that gained that success. So that feeling, that visualization pushes you to work towards more positivity. And creativity is indispensable. That in today's state, if you want to successful, you want to go ahead, and you want to really be unique, be different from others. Your management notices you, your efforts come to really show that you are doing things differently. So it is really indispensable. It is, you have to do it, you have to work towards it, you have to practice it, and come out with something different. And it is, and these interactions which you have are really, as let's take our academics only, as faculty members, the interactions which you have with your students are really, really, unique and different, and which cannot be replaced by any recorded lectures, which cannot be replaced by this thing, a pre-recorded thing. It is this, your spontaneity, your uniqueness to deal with the students. It really is a creative process. Also, creativity, gives you lot of freedom. It sets your mind free and explores to explore the other possibilities, and this give, really an impetus to your imagination, to your way of looking things, how you solve your problem. It enables you to face the challenges and think, different angles, all new angles, that if there is an issue, if there is a problem issue, so how we can do it in a different way, how we can, rather taking a straight path, how we can, be a little, divergent and go from a different path and reach the same goal. Other people might be also reaching the same goal, but how you can take something unique to reach that goal. What are your unique efforts which makes you different from the other? And this uniqueness adds leadership qualities to you. It is how you do things differently. Okay, how you add value to things differently is absolutely, it develops leadership qualities within you. Look at Steve Jobs. He didn't do anything out of the world. Mobiles were invented much before, but what happened? He added new features, he added uniqueness. He told, and what the way of using the phone in a different way. And it is Steve Jobs was one of the strikingly creative thinker, and he communicated well this to the world. He told the world, and everybody knows the Apple story, how successful it is. So he said that a phone can replace the camera. So the camera was always there in the phone, so but always, not always there, but it was invented much before. But how to use it in a different way, he told the world. So and he developed a better quality product. So that uniqueness, that creativity, how to do things differently, adds leadership qualities, and it boosts your productivity, obviously, and makes you more successful. Even if we look at, and when you are successful, you are more happy. So if we look at the philosophy of Walt Disney, he said that he wants to make such beautiful creative cartoons, such beautiful creative visuals to make people happy. His goal was how to make people happy. So, and he created that happiness, he created that happiness, and he, in the process, and we all watch Disney cartoons and we are happy. So it is that feelingness, what different somebody is doing and how different you are doing. It is, really makes all the different, actually. And it leads to personal growth, obviously. Somewhere, you get noticed, somewhere you come from the forefront, somewhere, even if your present organization does not notices it, tell the world about it. Write in your LinkedIn story, write in your blog, maybe write in your resume, maybe, and you can, tell the world about the unique thing you are doing. And believe me, somebody or the others definitely notice it. So it is, how you can add value to yourself, and expression comes within your, and this the expression comes within your creative output also. So it is your effort, how you can go ahead and do it. As I said that, enhancing, focusing on strengths is one of the, in my last, this thing in the webinar also, I said, when you are setting goals, when you are setting, a roadmap for yourself, the first thing you need to do is focus your strengths. We need to identify that strength, and how can we put those strengths into action is very, very important. So those we all have strengths, sometimes at the, middle, more after moving the middle half of our life, we realize that, yes, I had that strength, but I never used it. It is better to, start, acknowledging your strength much before at the starting of your career, so that you can put it in use, and believe me, it happens with everybody. After you move a substantial part of your life, you realize one fine day that you really had that strength, but you didn't use it. But it's better, to understand those strengths before. It's better to, see that how you can use those strengths to the fullest, how you can use those strengths to your maximum potential. And I say understand your weakness also, but don't focus so much on your weakness that make your weakness your strength, so that you make your more weakness more weak. So don't focus on your weakness too much. Don't spend or waste time on that. You need to develop those weakness, but you need to strengthen your strengths more. Bring spontaneity in your expression and freshness of thought. How you things do differently, how you work differently, even to the extent how you write your email differently, how you speak differently, and how you can express your your thoughts in a more professional way, more expressive way. That is very important. And this comes with practice, actually. Maybe it could also be possible that if you are not able to remember what you are about to speak, write them down and practice. If you have a meeting next day, even if you're a top shot leader, doesn't matter. If you have a meeting next day, bring your thoughts into together, jot them down, practice, and see how differently you can express them to the team. Okay, so I'll come to that, how to understand your team and then express your thoughts. So it is that spontaneity of expression. It can come with your a lot of practice, a lot of reading about it. And in today's time, internet is there, and there is so much written on internet. There is so much written, so much all ebooks available, and you should develop that reading habit. When you read, your mind has thoughts in abundance. Your mind has a lot of expressions, and you can use those expressions at the right moment, right time in your professional engagement. And again, all these habits leads you to break your habitual pattern. Your everyday getting up, taking a bath, going to the office, coming back, eating, watching TV maybe, and then sleeping. Then what different you are doing every day that makes a difference, actually. What that 10 minutes of your time do you spend in reading at night, which is going to help you the next day? Okay, so that 10 minutes of reading is going to make all the difference. The 10 minutes of speaking in front of the mirror maybe make all the difference to you. So you need to break that habitual pattern and do something new every day, so that it keeps your mind very active, alive and active, and which will help you. And the more you spend time with your mind, with your expression of thoughts, your imaginations grow. Your imaginations have wings, new wings. They might travel to unlimited areas which you might have not realized before also. So set your imagination free, and this can only happen when your mind is very, very active, when your mind is into work. And we have to really make our mind, even for physically being active, we have to do running and jogging. So in the same way, you need to jog, and you need to make your mind run also. And one more important thing is enjoy the settings you are in. You might be in a different setting, I might be in a different setting. the other person might be in a third different setting. So if we don't enjoy where we are and the setting we are in, then we will not be able to run our creativity. Then we'll be always complaining that this is not happening, that is not happening. That is actually not the right way. Enjoy wherever you are in, and if you are not satisfied your setting, see how you move out from that setting. What efforts you need to move. Without making efforts, you cannot move out from the setting. If you want to grow, if you want to go to a different setting, if you are targeting at somewhere else, you have to put that effort into it. Then only it will happen, and it's you who is going to make it happen. So take risks with your abilities. Don't think that, yes, I cannot do that. I cannot speak in front of a crowd, or maybe I cannot address somebody. I cannot, write something. Do it. First 3 attempts might be very wrong, very bad and hopeless. That's okay, but at least you tried. You will gain that confidence that you have tried. So you have to discard that negative blocks in your mind, and the more courage you develop to, express yourself and, move ahead, then only your creative instincts will, keep growing in your mind. Okay. So that's how then moving those negative blocks, and if there are people around you, some people around you who are negative, if you can remove them from your life, cut them. But if you cannot tell them that, please don't push me down, push me, give me negative thoughts. I want to be positive. Try to make the other person, convert that other person into a positive person, so that other person also oozes out positivity to you. So it is, if you within yourself, if you have that positivity, you can, that positivity, that aura, that, that wavelength goes to the other person also. So it's very important that you have that zeal, that positivity, and explore, multiple solutions to any challenge you face, and explore every possibility to move and grow in your career. So some of the, thinking skills which you have could be analytical. You have to be open-minded, problem solving, organizing. You have to organize yourself. You need to plan your day. You need to plan your day, that how you can make your day better. If you are if you are not planning for the week, if you are not planning that this week this is going to be my output, then the time passes and a lot of time is wasted. The people who are in the starting of their career, who want to really grow, and I would say at any point of your career, the growth never stops. How you can move forward, how you can help yourself and arm yourself with really the skills you need, and go ahead to reach your goals and deadlines. So that's why the organization skill, developing organization skills, is very, very important. So how you organize your day, how you organize your week, and what is the output you're planning, what are your weekly goals, what are your monthly goals. If you set it and if you follow it, and I'm telling you, you're going to reach those goals. So it is how strongly you can communicate, develop your oratory skill, develop your listening skill, think before speaking, absorb what the other person is saying, ask the right kind of questions. It's very important to develop all these skills, and these are very simple skills which you can develop. It needs just a little patience and a practice and realization within yourself that, yes, I have to develop these skills. So let's come to a very, very important concept, which we can apply to our workplace and our daily life and professional life, is the whole brain thinking approach, which most of the organization in today's state are applying, and leaders are applying, and to have better teams, better output, and better productivity. So it is said that everybody of us, our minds have left side and right side of our mind. So once the side, one side is very logical thinking, analytical, and organization. The other side is more, the right side is associated with more imagination, more visualization, more creativity, and more holistic thinking. So when we talk of leaders, performing leaders or team heads, or at any setting, leaders in any setting, or maybe a small team which is operating within an organization, they should feel that they can get competitive edge by developing your whole brain approach. It's not that you will be successful in by just one of the brains. So it is, as humans, we are designed to be whole. So we need to put into action our complete brain, how we can develop everybody cannot have all the skills developed to the optimum. Some people's logical skill might be very high, okay, but your expressive and emotional skill would be little less. Some people have a playful, imaginative, would be more imaginative. Some would be more a good planner. So as a team leader, or as a, in a professional setting, you need to understand that what other person's type is, So, if you look at the blue quadrant, it is based on the area of the brain which analyzes and often find mathematical, technical, and problem solving, thought processes more natural. They look things at very rationally, very mathematically, and very calculatively. And so I would say somebody like Bill Gates would be a blue person, very blue person. Okay, when we look at green side, it is more organized, more planning, and somebody who approaches life with every small detail in a sequential manner. Red quadrant is more feeling based area, where who can be a great communicator, who has more interpersonal skills, dealing with people, meeting with people, and have a more spiritual, academics have generally have this skill more developed. And Mother Teresa could be one person who I can think of, who would be could fit the red quadrant with the kind of spirituality and the interpersonal thing. Then yellow is more future based area of the mind, that is more imaginative, ideas, creative, thinking out of the box. Most of the entrepreneurs fall into this place. And I would say a person like Einstein would fit into more a yellow quadrant. So we need to, as you can be, every person can be a mixture of all this, or maybe one of the skills could be more predominant. Okay, so it could be a mixture and predominant. And so you need to understand that what skills you have, what are those skills which you really want to put into see. So it is whole brain thinking is it if you think in this direction, if you really think, if you give some thought after this presentation, maybe go back home and try to analyze some people around you whom you will see distinct these characteristics within those people. Let's take, for example, if you're giving a presentation and you're using a lot of graphs and a lot of, say, data and all, and you will definitely see that within your team, two people might be are absolutely out of that presentation. They might not be understanding anything, or there is a disinterest kind of thing. So as a leader, you need to understand what are those what is that what is that lacking in my presentation, that is not attracting somebody. People with more mind on the analytical quadrant would be interested in data, but the people who have more creative and thinking mind, they might not be interested in data. If if you have a human approach and you add more say case study, answer those questions in a case study way, more visuals way, they might get interested. So when you are giving a presentation, analyze who your team are, what your team comprises of. Within your department, if you are working, you are as a team leader, if you are working, understand, what you are, what kind of people you are dealing with, and whose mind is more strong, in which of the quadrant. And tailor your learning style, tailor your communication style on that way. Even for example, if you have a PhD scholar under you, who is doing a research, when that scholar comes to you, understand what area of that scholar is more active in a brain. Talk to that person, see what attracts. So you need to see, and if you feel that yes, that scholar is more analytical, we all use statistical tool in our PhD, but does that more appeal to it? Can that person's research be balanced in a way that we use more creative element, more qualitative methods, or more case study methods incorporated in that research, which gives a different flair to that research? And you might not know that going and thinking out of the way, you come out with some working model or some different say theory which might help and which you might patent for. So it is thinking different way. And as a leader, you need to ask say how to go forward it. Suppose you are giving a presentation, you have present visuals and everything, and you finish your presentation and say, okay, fine, this was the information I wanted to give you, now I'm stopping. But instead of stopping abruptly, encourage a discussion. Ask for their ideas, that what different can be done. See those ideas, evaluate those ideas, and in this way you will develop your leadership quality. And if you want to understand the people around you, give your presentations in a way they will understand. Okay, so analyze the people around you. It's for everybody, even somebody who is your who is to whom you're reporting, or somebody who is working with you as a team. You need to understand those personality and see that how the other person can excel in what he or she is doing. So this will help you in getting a professional growth and a competitive edge. So you need we don't know, actually many people, even ourselves, we don't know how we prefer to learn, through graphs, through designs, through case studies. What is the best way to learn, so that the more and more information is absorbed within me? So start your day when you're full of energy with your weak areas. If you feel statistics or some mathematical is your weak area, and you have some task related to it, work on it in the morning when you have maximum energy, or maybe the evening after with a cup of coffee, and you start that work within that. So you need to see what is that area, what is that area, which part of your brain is more strong than the other part, and work those areas accordingly. Motivate yourself and the people around you. You need to create a to-do list and organize your environment to see what your and your team fits into the preferences, right? So how we go ahead, you need to bring these sustainable changes, sustainable changes, that changes which is there for a long period of time. You might have been doing something, there might be some processes or communication style in with you which you have been doing for age last 10 years, and you have been lot of successful with that. But people keep changing, you have new teams, and you feel that that style might not be might not be appealing to the others so much. So how can you start something new? How can you implement things in a different way that would really attract people, that would make people more interested and curious in what they are doing? So take a different approach. You have to take some different approach, set your mind free, understand that if you're sending something, how would that be absorbed by the other people, how seriously they will take it. So you need to bring those every day you need to bring those sustainable changes in your life. You need to bring those small implementations within your life, and to see, you have to experiment a lot also, to see that actually what is what is happening around you, how you can make things better, and how at your workplace you become successful, your team becomes successful. So this is just just a summary of, what kind of people, how their brain works in each of the, types of people. Somebody who has got, blue more, they are concentrate on fixes, analysis in depth. They do a lot of research to find out, they need scientific numbers and backing to find out any solution. D people, they look at more holistically, and they, yellow people look, big picture, that, how they can bring difference in the lives of people around them, how they can make the life of people more better. So they look at new perspectives in holistically. And this the last quadrant, the red people, tries to, more a people person, more in spiritually involved, more emotionally engaged, more have softer feelings, and persuades those involved to help others, also values others feeling. So this is, we need to strike a balance. We might be a mix of these people, all these colors in our brain, and we might have some color more strong, the other color more weak. So how we can use our strengths, how we can see that what exactly we enjoy doing and how we are doing it, and what newness we can bring it is very important. So let's say in our daily life in our workplace, if you are presenting something, if you are having a presentation, see what what your team is, who your team is. You can have some facts within your presentation, some new insights in your for the reds, the future roadmap for the people of yellows, what should be the next steps, how we can organize the next step for the greens. So it attracts, your presentation should be a combination of such that it attracts all kind of people, that it gives, it makes everybody sit up in your presentations and listen to you, and not only listen to you, that their creativity is also excited, their creativity is also put into action, and how they can also come out with new ideas, how they can also think with out of the box and give you suggestions. And when the whole team works creatively and think on innovation, the solutions are immensely wonderful, and which can make any organization a very, very successful organization. Even when you are writing an email, I took that example of emailing, which is some act which we do every day, in our officially we are doing. So when you reply to an email, imagine, try to guess from their emails that what kind of person that person is. If the person is asking for more facts, more details, and that person might be a more analytical person, so you can write back accordingly with some graphs, some statistical figures, some review reports, some research which has happened, some trends in which has happened, which you can mention. Now if the person is asking for you, what is the next step forward, how would you go ahead into it, so that person wants to organize something, come to, so you write your email accordingly, judge from your email, once you go back, just see, analyze for 2-3 emails of you which you have received yesterday, maybe from different kind of people. From those emails, try to judge what quadrant that person belongs to, red, yellow, green. So what quadrant that person belongs to, and answer that person accordingly. Somebody who is not an analytical or a very mathematical or statistical person, and if you answer your email with an Excel sheet with lots of figures, that might not appeal to that person at all. If if in that place, backed by a summary of your Excel sheet, would make it all the more different. That person might just be interested, what those facts are interpreting. interpreting, that is very important. What is the interpretation, what would be the future implication, you write to them in that way, that would also very help very well. So I would say just this is an activity which you should perform. Go back and see the emails and check what, write accordingly that what that person is wanting, that would lead to a lot of success. In your meetings also, look at the presentations and try to guess which color wrote it. Okay, who made the presentation? Ask yourself, would this appeal to the all the people more? And again, at the next team, ask people with different colors, colors of your brain. Once they have understood, what is the problem, how the different people are going to solve the problem. So understand your team in that way to see that what exactly is the kind of, people you have, and you act accordingly. Just starting with before the critical thinking skills, Ms. Prasangsha, can we have answers to those two questions which we had asked?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Sure. Ma'am, the first question was, creative thinking process allows you to. So right now we have 770 responses for this question, madam. Okay. We had 4 options. First one is meet the same challenges, seek usual solutions, explore certain areas, open to new ideas. So 79.1% said that they are open to new ideas.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
8.4% explore certain areas. 7.7% seek usual solution, and less than that over the meet the same challenges, ma'am.
Okay, great. So the people, who are saying, then I am addressing to a group of people who are really creative and innovative and who wants to seek out to new things. And I'm not saying none of the answers are wrong, none of the answers are wrong. But the people who are doing, usual things, who want to, don't want new challenges in life. And I would say, look beyond that. Look beyond that 7 to 8% who have answered. There is nothing wrong in it. You might be satisfied in what you are doing. And that is, if you're satisfied and happy, that is an immense feeling. That is the most important thing we need in today's date. But again, if you want to grow yourself, after some time, if you feel that, you have reached a stage which is very, very stagnant and it is too late to change yourself, the avenues have closed, your peer group has moved ahead of you, then I would say this is the time to change, the time to, bring the creativity in your life is now. Now means this moment, today, this date. It is never, we'll do it in the evening. I'm not going till tomorrow also ki kal kar lenge. Nahi. It is this moment, today, just now, what different we can do. Right. So great. What about the next question? I think most of them have answered yes, I believe.
Yes, ma'am. 99.2%.
Yeah,
we asked the question that is creative thinking can be encouraged or not. So all of them are saying yes.
So
almost
that is,
99.2%.
yeah, so that is wonderful that, it is, encouraged. Yes. If, after this webinar, if you do one small creative thinking, then I would say that my webinar is successful. So it is, it's not that you only, if I also do something after talking so much to you all that, about creative thinking. And so it is, it's for me also what different I would learn today and how differently I would apply to my life is very, very important. So taking forward the critical thinking from creative to critical thinking, as I said that, IBM did a very big research, as I mentioned earlier in the session, that, understanding situations and based on available facts. When we talk of critical thinking, IBM said that, creative thinking and critical thinking, the research said that new generation leaders are, organizations are looking at people who have more critical thinking skills. That is, their skills at this critical thinking, understanding situations, processing, organizing facts, how high they are, and based on this fact, how they can, think critically and move ahead. So it is very important that you process and organize facts, data, information, define a problem. If you're seeing a challenge, even if a small thing, if a small issue comes up, how you are solving that thing is very, very important. And how that much is backed by, backed by facts, backed by, results is very, very important. So reflect upon your critical thinking skills, which you already possess, which you need to develop and highlight them. It is very important that not only you understand, not only you develop, but communicate them. Say that, say through your actions, say through your, all activities that, how you can do things differently, how you can, observe, you notice, how you predict opportunities, how you, if you within your department you see a opportunity of doing something, grab that opportunity before your peer group does. Analyze data, see how you can, from data you can infer conclusions, come out with results, come out with beautiful graphical presentations. If you are not good at graphical presentation, come out with some visual presentations. Whatever, understand first whatever is good in you, how you can implement that. So it is, it is your observation skills, it is your analysis of your data, it is, drawing conclusions. If you see your data and you just sit back and doing nothing, the data is of no use. You need to analyze. Today is the world of data. It is, data is the most important thing in today's time. So how you can analyze that data, how you can see that, how, what previous trends has been, how we can improve that thing. So within, in fact, from your say, from your batch, for example, if you are teaching a batch, if you are teaching a students, if say 2% of students are, lagging behind, through their result analysis, you find that, constantly for 2 semesters, these 2% of students are lagging behind. Now what different you do, what different, how differently you implement certain activities, implement some, classes for them, implement some things for them, so that, they are developed, and you handhold them to bring them to this, with their mainstream batches. That would make a difference in their life. That would make, and you will get a feeling of achievement. And this cannot happen if you do not analyze. This cannot happen if you do not look at the past data. Then otherwise things will be going as they are going. You won't be able to make a change within yourself and to the immediate community you are dealing with. Okay, for us as academics, our immediate community is our students. So how we can make their life more meaningful, if we, and this can only come through, analysis. This can only come after understanding of the analysis, how well we can communicate to them. That is very important. And then how we see out of the box solutions to, solve those problems, analyze those problems, communicate those problems, tell to the higher management that this has been done creatively, and this, how I have taught a subject creatively, how I've taught a subject in a different way, and the students have been immensely successful, and we have been, you did something differently which other people could not do. So, that is very important, and that would lead to the innovation within you. That would lead to, say, develop your skill pathways in terms of thinking, communicating, and putting things into action. It is just not one thing which is going to help you. It is, your gathering of thoughts, your communicating of thoughts, and putting your thoughts into action is very, very important. So make a commitment to yourself, put up a goal, put up something And this is all linked, it is not one area. Your creativity would lead to innovation, and all these things will lead to your critical thinking also. So, make a commitment to yourself that what different you will be doing, how will you implement it, and how will you tell the world about it, write about it. As I said, put it in your LinkedIn story, put it in your blog, start. Two people might come out and start a blog also. How well you can communicate to the world, you can start your university blog also, and you can write in there stories of your storyboard of your university also. So you choose your skill pathway and keep it simple, don't complicate it. Try to take small steps at one time and implement, close it, move to the new steps. From that, it's like creating a mind map. You write a word, you make branches, and then write in a paper that what new things can you think about it. So from that point, take the next journey. Okay, so have a goal in mind and imagine. Visualization of the success is very important. It's not, sit and daydream. As I said in my last session also, it's not about daydreaming. It's about imagining your real success, that if you implement something, what results it will give, how you can make life of other people's much better. Write it down. When you write it down, you feel it. Write. Writing makes all the difference. And as I said in the last time, that it really communicates back to you. Take action. Don't stuck yourself too much in the planning mode. If you keep planning and not acting, then it is of no use. So you need to, go out into the next stage. Thinking I will wake up every morning and putting up a shoe and go running, that does not happen. Unless you put that shoe just that moment and go out in the sun, rain, whatever, and running, you will never achieve it. So you need to don't stuck in your planning mode too much. Just go ahead and never quit. Never quit it. Your ideas might not give you immediately a solution. Your ideas might fail also. That is immaterial. Let them fail, but at least put it to action. At least try. It's like running a marathon. You cannot see your goal, you cannot see the finish line, you don't know what's going to happen, you will not know whether you will reach or not, but at least you have a feeling that yes, you have reached that. You have at least starting that journey, you have started that run. That starting is very important. So don't quit. Develop your plan, take action, be responsible for your action, and work towards it. If this is not, understand from your failures, reflect, what went wrong, why I did not success, what was the factor, what the other person did better. And if you see a successful mentor, copy that mentor. I'm telling you, that would really help you. If you have a successful mentor, copy the mentor, see what that person has done successfully. Aankh band karke copy karo, implement karo, see what is that, see whether your personality. Copy does not mean, completely doing copy of something. Some good skills you can pick up, some good skills, what you can implement in your life. It could be your communication skills, it could be way of presenting, it could be way of writing the emails, it would be change of language, how you write your emails, it could be way of developing your class modules, how you deliver your lectures also. So it is very important that how you change that, how you implement that. If you have a role model, if you have a mentor, then how copy that. If you see some success points, if you see that what you can do, and what you can implement in your life, and you will be successful, do it. There is no wrong and right in it. You have to be successful, and see, you have to decide a path how you want to do it. So expand your knowledge. That is very important. Your skills, your technical skills. If you're weak in Excel, do a small crash course in Excel and be successful in that. And if you're weak in your presentation skills, practice those presentations, make beautiful presentations and try. Okay, so Understand your knowledge, the industry you are working in, what are those things, what are new policies. If you are in academics, understand what the new education policy tells you about, because if you have read that, if you have understood that, and if you're in a forum, if you are in between 2-3 people, and you can give your viewpoint then, so the knowledge always helps you. So take additional courses, make yourself ahead of other members, other people. Volunteer to solve problems in your work environment. Come forward, see, show that initiative. Sometimes you might think that why should I show initiative? Why would I do this? Am I being paid for that? Sorry, everything is not about money. Everything is not about what your organization is paying you about. Certain things are about your own development. Certain things are about your own successful. So break that barrier of thinking that I will work till only 9 to 5, and I will work till what is given to me. I'm not saying work till 7:30 or till night 10 o'clock. I won't say that is effective, but situation demands it, we all do it. But again, that one extra half an hour what you do will make all the difference. What you are doing, from that what new you are doing. Okay, so, and if you are stuck somewhere, ask actively to professionals, ask mentors, ask leaders on those field, okay, in that particular industry, that how should I move forward. There is no need to feel shy and stop yourself from asking somebody. It is go ahead and talk to people, talk to connect people, network with the people, and then try to find out what they are doing, how you can do things differently. Okay, so very important, giving way to innovation. Take current stock of your skill. What skills are you there? Flex your thinking preferences, that yes, what skills are best in you and how you can use it to innovate something new. So creative problem solving is, process of innovation. Be mindful, be, reflective, that yes, what I have been doing, what results it could bring, how you can do something new, bring changes in the life of other people yourself. So reflect, think back, learn from your mistakes, and create something new. Repeat that new process of doing innovation. So you have to innovate yourself first. You have to innovate yourself. You have to innovate how to develop your innovation skill. Okay. So the statement I have written is, you have to innovate to innovate how to develop your innovation skill. So that is very important. So quickly, can I have some answers in the chat box? What is innovation according to you? Prasanksha, can we have from the people that what is innovation to them, participants? They can quickly write what is innovation to them. They can just write quickly.
So I request all the participants to please write on the chat box, what is innovations for them?
What does innovation means to you?
Yeah, in a 1 minute time. We'll take first 10 answers.
Yeah. How motivated are you with innovation? What innovation means to you?
Ma'am, Mr. Manoj Kumar Mr. Narsingh Behra is saying new creation.
Okay.
To everyone is saying innovation is something new. Sindhu Kanya is innovation. Manaswini is saying a new method. Rudra Prasad is saying experimenting and thinking out of box. Indu Bhushan is saying to think differently. Lakshmi Priya is saying development new ways to society. Deepak Kumar Mishra. Then Prasant Gai is saying something new. Ramesh Bagh exploring minds. So very good response.
Okay.
Nayak, new ideas and methods.
Okay. So the two best answers that I liked is thinking differently and exploring the mind. Okay. Among all your answers are right, but the two best answers I liked was thinking differently and exploring the mind. Now, innovation, when we talk of innovation is not just always doing new. Innovation could be, stopping something which you are doing from ages. Okay. That is also innovation, that takes a lot of courage also. Okay, so we'll come to that. That's why I said these two answers are really wonderful: thinking differently and exploring the mind. So that is, idea of innovation is always not new, always not, experimenting, always not coming out of the box thinking. Innovation is exploring. Innovations is how you do differently. Innovation is also stopping something what you have been doing from ages, right? So we'll come to this discussion just now, just in 1 or 2 minutes. And let's start with design thinking, which is one of the most important, approaches which the organization are, encouraging among them team, and it could be applied across, across all verticals. It can be applied across all, say, professionals. So design thinking moves with the idea that first you understand who is our customer. When we talk of customer, it's not always the people who buy things. Okay, for us, our students can be customers. Our team members can be whoever is affected by our, say, our actions could be our customer. And try to think that how our actions are affecting them. Understand the users and their needs. Okay, understand the users and needs, and then think of new ideas, implement those ideas. That is, prototype is experimenting. Prototyping, I hope you all know, to do it in a small form, or experiment into a small form, or design the working model of it. Okay, and reward those out of the box thinking and transform them into real world solution. Okay, so that is how is design thinking is. And they need to, we need to balance that, how we can do it from users point of view. What we think is what we think for implementation is how we are doing. What we are doing is right. This is our idea, this is how we will implement, and this is absolutely right. So to break free from this is, design thinking, to understand, put ourselves in the user's form. If we are teaching something, if we are teaching a chapter, to our students, we need to understand, how students will take it, how it will be affected student. Let's put ourselves, in the shoes of the student. Excuse me. Let's put ourselves, in the student's place, exchange place, and imagine that I'm teaching that way and how it is going to affect. Is it having the real impact? If that impact is not happening, my teaching is not effective, right? So imagine that impact. If you feel the impact is not happening, then brainstorm. Brainstorming means coming out with a lot of ideas, and in brainstorming, no idea is right and wrong unless implement. If you think of an effective idea, use that idea in in a class. You understand that idea, you do to prototype in your experimental class, see what is the effect, and change that. If that is successful, put into action. So the user's point of view is very, very important. Okay, so when we implement design thinking, it is the users we put into action. It is, it is a viable factors, business factors perspective. What is viable? What can be implemented? It's not that we think something, absolutely, very different, which will, we cannot let it happen. So, if you want to implement a new examination system in your place, how would you do it? How would student benefit from that? So it is empathizing with your users. It is empathizing with your customers. It is empathizing with your immediate partners who are affected by your action. So Prasangsha, can I have a quick answer like you did last time, that what, especially from the faculty members, like last 1 year, what innovative way they have used in their teaching methodology?
Yes, ma'am. Now, since it is coordinated by Mr. Radhakant Suna
Okay.
from our end, so I would like to invite Mr. Radhakant Suna and our colleague Ms. Ananya Sabat to please moderate the question answer session of the webinar. Ananya and Radhakant, please take over the platform. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Radhakan, Ms. Ananya. Can you just ask the participants to quickly first 10 answers, maybe say that what innovative method they have done in your teaching methodology in the last 1 year?
May I please request all my fellow colleagues to put up your answer in the chat box. I hope the question was loud and clear to all of you. May I please request all of you to jot down your answers in the comment section.
So have you received some answers?
Yes, ma'am. Most of them have answered virtual classes,
Okay.
and creating a virtual identity.
Okay.
And e-learning platform.
Okay.
Then, as of now, only this much, ma'am.
Okay, great. That's great. And do I need to share the screen again or?
Yes, ma'am. I think you need to share the presentation again. Yeah.
Okay, just a minute.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so great. So everybody, has creativity within ourselves, and in this pandemic, which has taught us to be more creative in our, delivery, in our effectiveness, in the way we work. So higher education.
Excuse me, ma'am. There are a few more answers coming up.
Okay, great.
Yeah. May I please?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Use of variance application like Teachment. I guess it's a virtual application for teaching and learning.
Yes, it is.
And then utilizing the digital platform, use of Google Classroom and free LMS platform.
Okay.
Then there is online classes and e-learning, interaction with children in virtual mode.
Okay.
And providing ebooks. And then
okay, great.
Yes, ma'am, that's it.
Yeah. So we'll stop at that. So see, these methodologies were there. These methodologies, it's not that these are all new methodologies. These methodologies were there ahead before also, when we were in good times and talking, teaching in our classes. But the latent, we never used it in it. We never, actively used these methodologies because the pressure was not on us. There was no pressure. We were going to the class, we were teaching, we are coming back. Students used to take books from libraries. Students used to, take notes and all. We never thought, why not give them a link for the ebook? Why not, give them more e-resources? Because there was no pressure in us. So we worked under this challenging time and came out with new ways of transformation in our teaching. The same way we should be now proactive. Even today's date, UGC is saying that, we have to have 40% of blended learning in our classrooms, even when the batches are face to face. So that blended approach came when there was challenge on us. Okay. So why should we wait for, my question is, why should we, wait for that challenge to approach? Why should we not adopt the new approaches beforehand? Why should we not be proactive before and, implement things? So, there has to be, greater commitment, not only from the individual, but for the, from the organization to support innovation, be flexible and be open to change. We need to empathize with our users. We need to define new problem. Ms. Ananya, can you stop this, things?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Just
can
a
you
minute.
ask the participant to
may I
stop that?
Yes, ma'am. May I please request all of you not to disrupt the presentation screen? It's creating a lot of disturbance, and kindly wait till the person is done with her deliverance. After that, you all will get a chance to interact with her, and you'll all get a chance to ask her questions. So kindly wait patiently until that. And may I please request you not to scribble or scrabble in the presentation screen. Ma'am, you may please continue.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ananya. So it is like you need to ideate with new ideas, do prototypes, see it is successful. If not, take a different action and come out with some successful model. So, it is an effective tool in academics also, which you can apply in your everyday life, come with breakthrough ideas, come with, new things, communicate, you develop leadership qualities, experiment, and you see that your team also reflects back to you. And, they can also, be interactive. They can also come out with new ideas. Not the thinking, we should not only inculcate in ourselves, but we should ask our team to be also, when the team sees that, you as a leadership, as innovating, implementing new processes, and going out of the way to do something, the team is also motivated to do the same. So it is important to use your brainstorming rules, ask for new ideas, bring the team, make the team responsible, make the team come out with new ideas. They feel inspirational, they feel that that they are involved. So you need to go out, break the boundaries, seek inspiration, go look up beyond your working environment, connect, network, go to have an industry integration, connect to people in your same profile in other foreign universities, see what they are doing, how you can do a collaborative research. And you have to reach out, ask for mentorship, ask for guidance. There is no harm in doing that. At the other person will say no to you, nothing more can happen, but at least we'll have the satisfaction that you have broken that barrier and asked something. Because that person will see that what is your motivation. You are so motivated to learn something new that you are asking for ideas, you are asking for to coach you, to inspire you, to tell you what is right, what is the right in that context or not. So go ahead, break those barriers, and look beyond the boundaries. That is very important. And one more thing, how you can adapt to change, how you can, if you pick up 10 15 say advertisements, job advertisements, be it in any sector, be it it's academics, be it in telecom, be it in your production sector, be it in your retail sector, marketing, advertisements, job advertisements will always have some of these words which are written on the screen to define the people they want. They will need a positive person who have a can-do attitude, willingness to for new opportunities, show a dynamic approach, who have energy to face the issues, to have a right attitude to change. Okay, have respond positively to change, challenges, opportunities. You will find these words, so you have to understand that what kind of people they want in leadership role, what kind of people they are looking at. People with say looking for challenges, people with willingness to change, people who can adopt new things, people who want to break their boundaries and reach ahead. So they need those kind of challenging people in their organization. So the whole world is looking at people like this. So how do you fit into it? Until unless you develop yourself, you will not fit into this picture. And to develop yourself, you need to have that flexibility and adaptability in yourself, openness to learn, openness to go ahead and do something new, your openness to look for new pathways. So it is important that you move ahead, have that intellectual flexibility in yourself, keeping your mind open, demonstrate, integrate new information. open to change, willingness to learn new ways creatively, new ways of doing things, have that confidence to experiment, have that confidence to, improve something, modify your own behavior, how you work, how you react to challenging situation. If there's an emergency, how you act is very important. So these are, first thing is to start saying yes rather than saying no. First instinct, the human behavior is, oh, I cannot do it, I will not do it. Change that. Yes, I can do it. Make suggestions for increasing effectiveness and changes. Willingness, shift your priorities. See what is the most pressing thing I need to do today. What is important. Do it, finish it, think for the other new thing you can do, and bounce back from your setback. If there had been failures, then how you can, learn from that failure, how you can move out more positively. Okay. So the world is changing, the business is changing. There are immense career opportunities. You have to just, change, adapt to that change, see what difference you can make in the environment you are working, how you can give a hope for a new future. We cannot afford to stay stagnant in at position we are. The whole world will move ahead of us and we'll be standing there. Until and unless we embrace ourselves for this, until and unless we adapt ourselves to the newness. So you have to develop that personality style, that creative leadership. And it's not about being creative yourself only. You have to make your team also creative. You have to make the people around you more creative, who can act innovatively in these complex and challenging situations. Act in a different way, act in a new way, so that it's a win-win situations for everybody, right? So it is your ability to bring those challenges, situations, and develop your employees. In today's date, it is if we look at the new generation, they are not worried about new very hefty packages, or they are not worried about working in a stagnant situation. They want to work under challenges. They want to do something new, and they want to work under leaders who are really creative, who are passionate, who are clear about their passion and purpose. So that's why if we look at the India's entrepreneurial scenario, there has been an exponential growth in the entrepreneurs in India. If you are looking at in your surrounding only, your surrounding, you will see that identify 10 entrepreneurs and see what new they have done. So this shows that there is a urge to do something new. There's an urge of creative leadership. There is an urge of breaking away traditional notions of rigidity, breaking away from what we have done from the past ages. Bring something new. It's always doing newness means how we do differently. It is not always do something, innovate out of the world product. How we do something new in a new way is also done. So learn yourself and lead ahead. That is very important. So it is, find yourself from the external pressures and don't think about limitations always. Break free from that. You think that, yes, if you have limitations, how you can work within that limitations. Have with your team, with your office group, with your environment, have common goals and directions, so that you have a synchronized effect, bridge cultural and geographical boundaries. Don't think that I'm from this place and that person is from that place. Remove all those barriers, make it a free environment and a culture to develop, in a more holistic way. So, you don't need an announcement to be a leader. You can be a leader in your own self in doing something. Okay, so don't wait for a formal authority to call you a leader. You are leader. Whatever position we are working in, we are leader in that. So how we can lead that position is very important. So, manage conflict, and manage conflict in a positive way. Don't take it personal, and look at the team growth and the individual success. And if the team is growing, the success is automatically will come to you. So create a collaborative space where there is a learning space for everybody in the organization, within your team, within the two people you are working in even. Okay, so that is important. Develop a collaborative, attitude. Don't stuck up with an idea. Move ahead. Don't get stuck up with too much of planning. Just move ahead and see what should be the next step. How you can change everything. Surround yourself not with people like you, but people unlike you, who are different from you, because you will get a different perspective. Then you have different colors of brains to work with you, red, green, yellow, blue. So you have different people who would work with you. Okay, so don't try to opportunities to work with people who are your friends, whom with you have very good compatible equations. People start learning to work with people who are absolutely unlike you with whom you might have challenges also, but you will learn with working with different people. Remember to importance of expertise. Try to expertise into something. Communicate the leader that yes, you are expertise, you would like this type of challenges, you would like to work in this type of areas. So have a stop starting. It's not about always starting a new. It is about stopping something what you have been doing from a long time, doing in different way. So start stopping also. It needs a lot of courage, it needs a lot of creativity to stop something which you have been doing, from age old practice, the way you might be sending a communication. So sending a communication in a new way could be a new start for you. It might create challenges. People might question you also, but be ready to answer those questions. Have that courage to start doing something with a different approach. Assemble advisory board. Have people who can give you new good suggestions. Have people who can give you new ideas. Have people around you who would like a support system with you, to collaborate with you. So these were my takeaways. So stay motivated. Staying motivated, there are all theories of motivation will fail. I'm sure those are HR faculties that know all theories of motivation. All theories of motivation fails if you're not self-motivated. So you have to push yourself. You have to, you are the only person who can motivate you. Nobody else can do it unless you are self-motivated. So self-motivation is the most important thing. You will fail many times. Learn from your failure, reflect from your failure, have that strong willpower to go ahead. That is very important. Okay, so and if you really feel low sometime, talk it out to people. As I said, find a mentor, find a good colleague with whom you will collaborate, and say that yes, I failed into this thing. Now what next? How should I improve it? How should I go ahead? How can I do it in a different way? So find that support system. Find that people around you who would really be give you that inspiration. So at the end, I would like to say that engage yourself, empower yourself, and inspire yourself and inspire others. Learning motivates to develop exploratory attitude, creates opportunity, acquisition of knowledge, collaborative research, as I said, connect to people, across the boundaries, write an email, send a LinkedIn message, connect through their websites, whichever way you can do, connect to people, acquire that new skills that can be applied. Okay. And it is a continuous process. We cannot say that, this is going to stop today, or this is going to stop there is no age to learning. We will keep learning till we die. Okay. So it is, continuous process. Keep adding newness to your knowledge. So embrace the challenging roles which are given to you. come forward to accept those roles. Build your capacity and build the capacity of other people's also. Do some social work, do some, activity to people, to, bring up people, the community around you also. So you'll see a lot of opportunities to it there could be. So join hands, and, we all need to come together or create a new ecosystem actually. So it's absolutely a collaboration. It is empowering ourselves and bring an inspiration, not to our lives also, but to the lives of the people around us. So this is all I had to say. So I'm open to questions.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for such a wonderful and enlightening session.
Thank you so much. I hope you had some takeaways from the session. You need to unmute yourself. Yes, Ananya.
Sorry. I'm so sorry, ma'am. Thank you so much for such a wonderful and enlightening session. And had a lot of takeaways, not only a few, but a lot of takeaways. I'm still pointing out the things that you have said. And now, before moving on to the next session, I would like to quote a very famous line said by Sir Albert Einstein. He says, "Creativity is contagious. Pass it on." And you have successfully passed it on to all of us, ma'am. Thank you so much for that. Your prolific deliverance on the given topic have enlightened and inspired us all. They say experience speaks, and we are really fortunate for having listening to it today. Thank you so much. Moving on to the next session, we have a lot of questions, ma'am. In fact, there are questions that have been repeated several times. So I might just avoid those questions. Yeah, meanwhile, I request all of you, those who want to interact with our resource person directly, to stay aware. And soon after this question and answer sessions, you can interact with the resource person. Remember, we don't have a lot of time, so kindly keep your questions limited. Ma'am, the first question is creativity equal to inner quality of an individual?
It is, I would not say equal, until unless you put your inner quality into action. How would you know that it has been creative? You have your inner quality, you understand your inner quality, put your inner quality into use. Some action has to be there. Without action, nothing is there. You understand. It's wonderful if you have inner qualities. So inner quality has to be brought out and see how it can be used in a meaningful way. How you can implement in whichever area you're working in a meaningful way to give change, bring a change. May it be your delivery, may it be your communication skill, may it be your interpersonal skill. How you can use your inner quality in positively. Quality is not a quality until it is put into action. That's what I believe in it. So I'm an action-oriented person, so all my answers will be onto action. So I believe if you don't put it into action, there is no result, there is no communication. So you yourself and inner quality will be there. But you need to, tell the world that, yes, this is my inner quality, okay? Definitely. And in a creative way, yes.
Right, ma'am. Thank you so much. I hope the person who asked this question got his answer. And the next question is, ma'am, does creativity impart freedom? If yes, then how?
It does. It gives you freedom of thought. It gives you freedom of action. It shows you a way forward to move forward. It gives you that courage, that creativity, if you're doing something differently, that requires a lot of courage. And also some, doing something which you have been doing ages, stopping that also, requires a lot of courage within yourself, and you have to show that courage within in the circle of people who are around you. To break that barrier, it needs a lot of courage. You have to bring out that courage in yourself, move ahead and tell, yes, this can be done in this way, and this is how I am trying to do it. I might be successful, I might be failure. If I am a failure, No worries. I'll try again to do that again in a different way. So that breaking is very important. That breaking the barrier is very important. That taking that first step forward is very, very important. Okay. So move ahead, implement. Okay. And then reflect back. It is, very, very important. And I'll continue this question. I just read one of the question. Is fear, important? Yes, there is always a fear within ourselves, even, if you are going at an interview at the age of 55 for a CEO position, you will have that fear. Fear is always there, but how you overcome is important. We all are afraid. सबको दिल में धक धक होता है when we go for any kind of interview, or we can, go for any, even before going a meeting, and even before I talk to you all in a webinar or a presentation, 2 minutes dhak dhak is always there. But you need to say, okay, it's there, it's good. That dhak dhak will help us to, prepare ourselves, and how we can impart in a better way, and how we communicate in a better way. That is important. How you use that dhak dhak in a positive way is very important. Fear is always there. Overcome that fear. It's very natural to have fear. One should never be overconfident. Some level of fear should be there to make you, push you towards how you can do it in a better way. Yes, please.
Very rightly said, ma'am. And as as millennials, we have this quote which we use: "Dar ke aage jeet hai." So,
of course, dar ke aage jeet hai.
Yeah.
मतलब don't Hrithik Roshan की तरह कूदना नहीं है. Ruk jao, think before jumping. Yeah.
Right, ma'am. Okay, so before moving on to the next question, may I please request those who want to interact with the resource person directly, they will have to raise their hands. I mean, in the Zoom platform, there is an option, raising your hand option, and only then you will be allowed to interact with the resource person, because as you all know, we are running short of time and we have a lot of questions already. All right, ma'am. So moving on to the next question. Is innovation and creativity same? If yes, then explain.
Innovation, and as I said, innovation is, not always doing something new. Doing in a different way is, is innovation. And to do something in a different way is creativity. You have to think. It is linked. Innovation and creativity is always linked. Unless you are creative, you cannot be innovative. Okay, so that creativity has to be there. Creativity does not mean, we are drawing, we are actioning. The creativity is, how you take a different path, how you take a shorter route, how you jump, you make a leap. Creative can be anything. And creativity leads to innovation. It gives a pushing, it gives your, it racks your, activates your brain. It racks your brain and say ki ab isme kuch naya kya kare, how we can do it in a different way. Even in even if you're cooking something, if you're not creative, you will not innovate a new dish. So you have to put that creativity into action. When creativity is put into action, it becomes an innovation. Okay.
Rightly said, ma'am.
Tanushree, I'll just add up to what you said to this question.
Yes,
you have already answered.
Yes, sir.
Am I allowed?
Yes, please.
Yes, sir, please.
Yeah. The question was actually very straight. I think whether creativity and innovations are the same. It can never be same. It was never also. Creativity actually adds to innovation. So it's a very straight answer. I mean, not that right and wrong, because when you excel in having a creativity, that will ultimately end up in having innovation. So the quality of your creation, the quality of the creativity will result in innovation, not the vice versa. Right.
Yes, sir.
Please go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your answer. And ma'am, we are moving on to the next question. Ma'am, the next question is how to stimulate our thoughts in order to be creative.
You have to practice it. Simple. You have to practice and implement it. Nobody is going to do it for yourself. If you want to stimulate your thought, if you want to stimulate your thought, you need to do it yourself, practice it yourself, put your thought into action and see what our results are. If you are coming with something differently, you have a new thought idea, new thought process of doing something differently, implement it, see what are the results are, reflect back on those results and see that how more improvisation which can you do. Okay, so you have to, unless you put it into action, you will never know what the results are. You have to take that step, you have to move that step, jump over that mountain. You have to put it action. Until this you don't put it into action, implement is, we do not know what is going to happen. So that's what we tell our students also, go ahead and do it and see, what is happening. So see, experiment it, come out and, go over that experiment, learn from that, implementation and make your next action more better. And I read one very interesting question on social entrepreneurship that somebody has real, ideas about social entrepreneurship, and that person would, I think, would like to experiment and identify. So the social entrepreneurship being a very idea to close to my heart. So I believe in today's date, social entrepreneurs are really one of the most creative and most innovative people, because they are trying to do something for the community in a different way. They are trying to, do something, be, bringing the people in the forefront. Okay, so if you have any idea of social entrepreneurship, implement it at a very small level and see that, what different you can make, be keeping in boundaries of what you are, wherever you are working, what, looking at the legalities also, how you should go ahead. Or you can, attach to an organization and do it, start it in a small way, learn to put it, how to go ahead, and then maybe take it up yourself. Okay, so yes, I can have the next question.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, there is one more question, and after that question, we may move forward with our interaction session. Somebody asked, can creativity be trained?
Trade or trained?
Trained, Trained, trained.
Okay, trained. Yes, it is, it can be trained, it can be practiced. Creativity can be adapted, you have to, but you have to activate your brain. You have to read, you have to, understand the new environments, new trends, what are happening, see the gap in the user, see the gap in the environment, and where you can put in your creativity, that you have to identify. People can only train you into how to do it. I can only tell you how to go about it, how to practice it, but it's yourself you need to, put into action. It is yourself you need to put into action. See, have a supporting group who would help you into putting action, have mentorship who would give you ideas, right, show you right way how to do it. There are situations when you have ideas, but you don't know what to do with that ideas. That is the time when you can go ahead to your leader, or your team leader, or leadership in your organization, or your mentor, or somebody senior whom you have been consulting, and that person would rightly guide you how to go about it. Of course, you need support, you need, right direction to implement something. So you have to go ahead with this. Don't sit with the idea. If you have creativity, if you have creative ideas, go ahead and see how you can implement it. Okay. Yes.
Right, ma'am. Thank you so much. We still have a few questions left, but I'm extremely sorry. We have already run out of time. So I guess all the questions are answered. All the questions ma'am has answered in the session. She has explained every bit of everything, whatever you have asked. So what you may do is, if you have skipped out anything, you can just go to the YouTube video and watch the session all over again. The link is given in our website. So please do the needful. Now, ma'am, there are 3 to 4 participants who want to interact with you. May I please request them one by one? May I first request Mr. Ramesh Bagh to unmute your mic and interact with the resource person. And may I please request you to keep it short, sir? Please. Okay, ma'am, I think,
I think
there's
that
some
was-
internet problem.
Yeah.
Okay, may I ask Miss Suchasmita to interact with the resource person? Unmute your mic and you can talk to the resource person.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. Please.
Yes, we
continue.
can hear you.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, ma'am. Ma'am, thank you for your splendid presentation. Today's topic is that creative thinking and adapting innovation for success. But so many times it is observed that a person cannot be succeed in a shorter period of time, even and they have creativity, they have innovation, hard work and talent. So my question is, why success did so long time to to do, how why does success take long time, ma'am?
It will take long time. There is no shortcut to it. Nothing will, nobody can become a CEO, or we cannot become, lead to any top position in a very short time. It is a journey, it's these, implementations are like a marathon, as I said in my presentation. There is, very less 100-meter runs in this. You have to be consistent. You have to keep experimenting. You have to embrace yourself for the skills, and you have to move ahead. Nothing will overnight, become overnight, or maybe year. If you think that it will happen in a year or so, it is not like that. It's a journey. It's a lifelong hard work which takes you to success. And you have to be consistent. You have to keep putting your hard work. No success comes overnight. No successful career is a very short journey. It is always a long journey. It is a journey of long experiences. It is journey of putting new things into action. It is a journey of lot of failures and learning from your failures. So there is no shortcut to success. One has to be ready for that long journey. Our life is a long journey, and there is a time for everything, and as I said, love your environment in which you are working. Love your environment whichever you are in it. And if you want to change your environment, you work towards it. Take positive steps towards it, and in maybe 3, 4, 5 years time, your environment will change. So if you want to change something, you need to start working on it, and the best time is to start just now. And then you will see in change in maybe some years down the line. It will not happen overnight. It will not happen immediately. It is a journey which you have to take, and it's a long journey. Right. I hope I have answered your question.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. I hope your question is answered. And we'll be taking just 2 more participants. I guess Dr. Girija Shankar Mahapatra has been waiting since long. So, sir, you may please ask your question.
Good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon. Yeah.
I think creativity leads to invention. Is creativity will mislead to someone? Okay, ma'am. Will creativity and someone?
I think some words
It may not be applicable. It may not be applicable in all fields.
Ma'am, I think he wants to say that creativity is not applicable in all the fields all the time. So I think that is the point of his question.
Creativity creativity is applicable. Creativity does not mean you are doing something or drawing something or visualizing something, everything. Creativity is in your actions. Creative word does not mean you have to art or paint, visualize, or come out with something. Creativity is in your actions, how you do things. Creativity does not mean that it is some movie has to make, or some drawings have to make, some graphics have to make. Creativity is what you are doing, the newness in what you were doing. Whether a person is selling tea in a shop, whether a person is a photographer, whether a person is having a cloth merchant, newness you can have in your environment is creativity. So I personally believe creativity is applicable everywhere. It is how we perceive it, how we do it is it's on us. I hope.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. We'll just take one more participant. Bola Shravanti. Miss Bola Shravanti has raised up her hand. May I please request you to unmute your microphone and interact with the resource person directly? Miss Shrivanti.
Yes, ma'am. Hello, ma'am. Firstly, my name is Sevanti.
Yes.
So I'm very what to say, but it's a standard speech by you. So my question for today's session is: what's the difference between your creativity and innovative ideas, and how do those ideas, occur into our mind as we move forward?
As I said, creativity leads to innovation. Creativity and innovations are linked, and ideas will come to your mind if you try to sit back and think about and sit back and think that how you differently can do it. You have to do that thinking. You have to have that roadmap mind, do that mind mapping activity, that even if you are tomorrow going to take a small internal examination of your class, how innovatively you can do it. A company like Google asks their employees to sit back and think new things for 5, 7 or 20% of their time. So you have to sit and think that how you can create new things, how you can do something differently. I always emphasize that new things is not important. How differently you do it to increase your productivity is important. Productivity and your effectiveness, that is very important. How you bring change in your environment. You have to rack your mind. We have to, as we have to keep our body active, we have to keep our mind active. That's why I said you need to read a lot. You need to learn about new things. You need to learn about the new industries coming up, new environment, new changes coming up in your country as well as outside. So when we read so much, when we connect, do networking, we really activate in mind. It is keeping how your mind active, and think of improving yourself in terms of your skills. How you can answer this in a better way, how you can talk in a better way. Tomorrow if you even have to write a few lines of your email, how you can do it in a better way, you need to think on it. Form those things, practice it, write it down. That is very important. Writing helps you a lot. And the writing is it is one way you can improve your things. If you write down your idea, you will get 10 more new ideas from that 5 words. Okay, so implement it and see the difference, and start it today. I'm telling you, it's going to make a difference, 100% guaranteed. Okay, right.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, can we take just one more interaction?
It is.
Will it be fine?
One more, just one.
Just
more.
one more. This will be the last. Miss Momita, you may unmute your mic and interact with the resource person.
Good afternoon, ma'am. And it was a very helpful session for every one of us. My question is that, as you have already said, that if a person is creative, So a person needs to know what creativity does he or she has in her or him. But my question is that if a person is is suffering from failures, okay, in that at that point of time, how a person can know what is his or her creativity, and how that person can get motivated from other person. And in today's century, in today's 21st century, one more question is that in today's 21st century, how can we get to know which person can motivate us? This is the biggest question. How can we trust anyone?
Right. This is a
Yes,
very
ma'am.
important question.
Yes, ma'am.
And I must say that, yes, we all face failures. We all face. Everybody, I don't think nobody reaches to the top without, facing failures. So we all face failures. We have to learn from failures. And as I said, we need to have a very, very positive support system, us. And it is in today's date, whom should you trust and whom should you not? So it will come with experience. It will come with how people differently react to different situations. You have to understand that and see that how people have supported you. Okay, so that is very important. And one more thing you need to see, as I said, that different people have different more stronger brain capabilities in terms of understanding, analyzing, or visualizing. You need to identify the right kind of people around you, who would support you, who would take you out, who would motivate you from your failures. And from your failures, you have to, first thing is, you have to be self motivated. That failure is bound to happen. If you try to experiment something, if you face failure, reflect back, what wrong you do, review, reflect, and take some trusted friends. You have to see that on whom you can develop that trust. People who pass on positivity to you, they are the right kind of people whom you can trust. People who really mentor and guide you could be the right kind of people whom you can go to. So you have to understand and identify the people. But who people with false praises maybe, or people with who would give you wrong information, they are the not right kind of people. So you have to cut down on negativity. So you have to identify. Once experience tells us, your experimentation tells us, and your own gut feeling and own strength, your own self motivation and your own inner strength help you to do this. Thank you. Thank you so
But
much.
ma'am, one more thing is that as you have told that we need to identify people. So in that case, I was just like to ask you that some people praise in front of us, oh, you are very good, and they then hate from the back. Then
that
in that
is
case,
a common problem we all face. 100% people fail that, and this kind of people exist in every organization. You have to identify them from them and keep away from them. That is the only answer I can give on this. Right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I think with this, we are winding up with the question and answer and interaction session. Thank you so much, all the participants, and I'm extremely apologetic to all the participants whose questions couldn't have been answered today and who couldn't interact with the resource person. But now, after these two webinars, we are sure of the fact that this is a long-term association with Dr. Purohit that OSOU has virtually signed. So we'll be getting a lot of chances and we'll be having a lot of such webinars in which we'll get ample amount of chances to interact with the resource person. Now, may I please request my co-worker, Mr. Radhakanta Suna, to wind up the session with the vote of thanks. So please.
Thank you, Ananya ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. Esteemed Chief Patron Professor Dr. A.K. Das Mahapatra, Vice Chancellor, Odisha State Open University, respected Dr. Manas Ranjan Pujari, Registrar, Odisha State Open University, extremely vocal and eloquent speaker of the webinar, Dr. Tanushree Purohit, Associate Professor, Amity University, Haryana, staff members, coordinators, counselors, and our dear learner. It is such an honor for me to have got this opportunity to thank you all for your active and enthusiastic participation in the webinar. On behalf of Odisha State Open University, I extend a warm gratitude to all our learned participants from all walks of life. At first, I would extend my hearty gratitude to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. A.K. Das Mahapatra, sir, for showing the idea of organizing such an informative and resourceful event under his continuous guidance and supervision. Thank you, sir. I would also like to express my heartfelt gratitude to our revered speaker, Dr. Tanushree Purohit, for showing us the enlightened path. I am sure all of us have been highly benefited with the knowledge you have imparted in this series of webinars, and we look forward to having more such association in future. Thank you, ma'am. I would further thank our esteemed registrar, Dr. Manas Ranjan Pujari, and respected Controller of Finance, Sri Nalini Ranjan Sadangi, for their continuous support and cooperation throughout the event. Thank you, sir. I would further thank Mrs. Prasansa Das for such smooth conduct of the event. Thank you, madam. I would also like to thank Mr. Asim Kumar Patel, Mr. Sivanand Panda, Ms. Ananya Sabat, Ms. Sagarika Misra, Ms. Subhra Saraf, Mr. Abhinandan Tripathi, and Mr. Nishant Purohit for their aid and assistance in providing technical support. Thank you, madam and sir. I would like to thank all our esteemed guests, faculty members, coordinators, counselors, and the entire staff of OSOU for being a part of this eventful day. Thank you, madam and sir. Last but not the least, I would like to thank each one of you for being a part of this online event and making it a huge success. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for a formal vote of thanks. I would request all of participants to please on their video. We will have a group photograph, online group photograph. That is after the every event when we attend offline, we have a group photograph, similar kind here also. So I request all the participants to please on their videos. I would request our technical team to just over the screen the participants whose videos are on. All the participants to please on their videos. I would request to our technical team to take our esteemed chief guest, Honorable Sir, and our esteemed speaker of the session in the middle, and rest of our participants over all the screen can cover it like that. Are we ready, sir? Please on your. I can see Manoj Kumar Swai, Lakshmi Priya Behra, Sindhu Kanya Mahapatra.
Sir, let us take whoever is present. Let us not wait further.
Right, sir. Right, sir. So whoever is present, we will not. Okay. So smile. So we'll take a photograph of all together. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Tanushree.
Now, sir, we can now. Madam? Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir, for the opportunity. It was really indeed a great experience to interact with everybody. Thank you so much for the opportunity, sir. Thank you.
All right, take care.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
With this, we are formally closing the session. I request the participants to log out of the platform.